Hi there, I'm Siggy. Welcome to another exciting review here on Go For One. I'll be doing a full review of the New Balance SuperComp Elite V4, which is a high-stacked elite marathon racing shoe. And as 2024 is the year of the Olympics, New Balance couldn't leave out an elite shoe, right? But let's find out if they can make a non-elite like myself a faster runner or not. Let's start off with the facts and figures. The SC Elite V4 was released on February 1st, 2024. It features a stack height in the heel of 40mm and 36mm in the forefoot, which results in a 4mm drop. The weight in my size 46.5 is 285 grams, which is a bit high to my surprise, especially for an elite shoe. And apparently it's even 10% lighter than its predecessor. Go figure, right? The midsole is made up of a 100% PEBA foam, which New Balance calls Fuel Cell. It features a newly designed carbon fiber plate that is described as a bit more aggressive than before, also resulting in a more aggressive rocker. Sounds exciting, right? Furthermore, the midsole foam has a futuristic design which gives a special look to the shoe. It's unclear if that changes anything to the actual performance, but to be honest, I doubt it. The outsole rubber has 5 independent sections, 3 at the front and 2 in the back. The rubber is thick and gives a good amount of grip. It also comes up towards the front to protect the toes and upper. Furthermore, at the back, the rubber also covers the heel area, which is great if you are a bit of a heel striker. There is a bit of exposed midsole, which is in the center of the shoe, but more on that later on. The upper is called New Balance's Phantom Fit, which is a light mesh that has a lot of ventilation, especially from the midfoot towards the front. It doesn't have a lot of stretch, but since they were true to size for me, I didn't have an issue in that department. As already mentioned, the front is protected by the outsole rubber, and also the rubber itself has a reinforcement built in. Inside there is an extra patch in front of the toes to protect you further from any possible impacts. There also seems to be some extra stability starting from the midfoot towards the heel area. As you can see, the orange section should support the foot a bit more. It does feel more solid. Also in this area there are triangle shaped holes foreseen to provide the necessary ventilation. The bottom heel area is reinforced to keep your heel in place. The whole heel area, in fact, also towards the top, feels pretty good. The more you come up, it becomes a little bit more flexible, which I expect is to give a bit more assistance in taking turns or corners. The padding at the heel area is very minimal, especially at the Achilles itself. At the sides there is a bit more padding, which gives a bit more comfort. The outsoles can be replaced if you'd like. They are, however, a bit glued in, but can easily be pulled out. Knock yourself out, my friends. The tongue is non-gusseted and very thin. It's a one-piece fabric with the same triangle-shaped ventilation holes. It also stays well in place with the help of the laces that run through it midfoot. Furthermore, the laces are flat, thin, with a slight stretch. Their length is not very long, but they blend in very well with the rest of the shoe. So, as we got the facts and figures out of the way, let's talk about the pros. Hello! If you are enjoying this review, then don't forget to tickle the like button and the subscribe button. Your great clicking actions would help the channel out a lot. Most of you aren't subscribed, nor are you tickling any of the buttons. Thank you in advance for the support. But I'll let you further enjoy the review. The midsole foam has a good bounce and energy return. From the moment I've put them on, I felt like this was going to be a great shoe with good performance. It doesn't feel too soft because otherwise it also might feel somewhat unstable, which is definitely not the case. The rubber provides a very good grip also in rainy conditions. If you look at the outsole design, you can see that there are extra holes in the center of every independent section. This also gives some extra traction. The exposed midsole has some discoloration, which is unavoidable, but it doesn't look like there is any further wear and tear. But since it's a PEBA foam, we know it's a bit more durable than others. The upper feels great and is especially true to size. I know I needed to buy a 46.5 instead of my normal 46, but there isn't a 46 with New Balance. But still, these work out great for me. Breathability is on point. The ventilation is as expected, and also when it was raining, my feet didn't get wet. They were a bit damp, but that's normal, something of which I was really surprised. The stability, perhaps also due to the reinforcement at the midfoot and heel, is really good. Especially with the stack height, it's not always the case in such elite shoes to have a stable feeling. I've tested the stability at somewhat slower and faster paces, on straight sections and also in taking corners. Didn't have to worry about the stability. Then the laces, even though they are a bit short, they are of a high quality and stay locked properly. And of course, after the pros, we've got the cons, so let's dive into it. There aren't a lot of negative points, but there are a few that I need to mention unfortunately. The tongue is a bit short in my opinion. I would have liked that it came up a bit more towards the ankle. There is not a lot of room between the top of the tongue and the laces, which makes me a bit insecure. Furthermore, my heel was also not locked in properly, something I was already afraid of before I've put them on, which is because of the padding at the heel and Achilles that's very limited. Not long after I started my first one in them, I noticed that this wasn't going to work unless I did the runner's knot. Luckily, with the runner's knot, it turned out to work great. Since then, I didn't have any issues at the heel. I would have preferred that the laces were a bit longer to facilitate the runner's knot method a bit better, as I can imagine that some people can have a problem with this. Now that you got the full picture about the New Balance SuperComp Elite V4, here comes a brief summary and my final thoughts. Overall, I'm very surprised and satisfied with this shoe. As you could see, there are a lot more positive points than negative, and especially the negative points are possible to fix. So with some tweaks, you can get this working great for you. I like the design, the more futuristic look, accompanied with the colors that put you in that spring or summer vibe. Yeah, baby. If you wonder if I'm keeping these in my shoe rotation, then I'm definitely keeping them. They have earned their place in my shoe collection, there is no doubt about it. The durability, difficult to predict. I'm guessing that we could get a decent 500 to 600 kilometers out of them and still have a comparable performance within the beginning. Afterwards, the midsole foam will probably won't be the same anymore. For a price of 280 euros, that's not great, but don't forget that it's an elite shoe, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm also curious to see what other colors will be released in the future, because New Balance, I dig this. Well, that concludes the review of the New Balance SuperComp Elite V4. If you found the review helpful, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell. And I thank you for watching, and I hopefully see you in the next one.